Dear world, now I realize that the more comfortable I get doing these and the more comfortable I get in sharing pieces of myself with the internet, the more backlash I'm gonna see from people involved with the situations. Um, and you catch me looking down because I've got a little notepad here that's gonna keep me on track so I don't get sidetracked. Um, I don't mean any harm to anybody. I don't mean to hurt any feelings or bring up stuff they're not comfortable with. This is my life I'm talking about. This is my channel, my journal, my diary, my whatever the fuck you want to call it. Um, anyways, now that I got that out of the way, uh, sometimes, man, I go on these, hiatuses where I just need to be by myself. I need to be alone and away from everything. And I end up cutting people out for, oh, it could be a couple of days, it could be a week or more. And that doesn't mean I don't care. I get in like these self-destructive modes where my thoughts are just so self-destructive and it scares me sometimes. And I just need to be by myself and figure things out and go through things in my own way. And it's selfish because I've got people that rely on me for different things, and I'll be absent. And like I said, I know it's selfish, but sometimes I've got to work through things in the only way that I know how. Um, I keep saying I want to lighten things up, and in my last video, I got a few comments or whatever that said I started rambling when I started talking about things and wanting to lighten it up. And I wasn't intending to ramble. I've got that stuff wrote down too. I kept myself on track. I even had the lighten things up stuff wrote down. Like, I didn't get off track. It's exactly the way I wanted it to be. But it may have seemed that way because I wanted to break things up a little bit. So tonight I chose this hat instead of wearing my Razorback hat or my Nike hat or a Dan Bana. Yeah, you heard me right. I didn't say bandana. I said Dan Bana. Because I like saying things certain ways. It's fun to say, and it becomes habit. And then I say it in regular conversation, and people look at me like I'm dumb. But sometimes it's just fun to say things differently. So instead of wearing a bandana or one of these other hats, I wear this Metallica hat because there's history with it. I recently got reintroduced to my Metallica hat. It's been missing for 10 plus years, I think. I know I got it about 13 years ago, and I know it's been missing for a long time. And what had happened is I have a cousin who's more like a brother to me, and he's 10 years younger than me, but we grew up just me and him being the only grandkids for a long time. But apparently, he thought that this symbol here on the back was cool, and it was Metallica, and the words looked cool, so he took the hat. Just a little kid. And I recently found it in his stuff, and I was like, what the hell are you doing with that hat? Like, I got that at a concert. And in the concert, I wasn't even, I wasn't supposed to be at, but my best friend at the time won tickets off the radio. We were 15, oh no, I had to be 16 because I drove, but he won tickets off the radio, and maybe 17. But his mother wouldn't let him go because it was Godsmack and Metallica. And yeah, his mother wouldn't let him go. So he gave the tickets to me, and so I took someone out on a date on it, or to the concert, and I got this hat. And I didn't have the hat very long before it came up missing. And anyways, Tyler ended up taking it. And I love Tyler to death. T. Wilder, the Prodigy. Love that dude to death. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting tidbit about this hat. And that was me, just kind of, I get in these, it's kind of like a defense mechanism when I say I want to lighten things up, is because I feel like I'm starting to talk about stuff that's going to get real personal, and I want to lighten things up. And so, I was talking about being self-destructive, and I had a weird dream last night where I had a car that morphed into a motorcycle, and it did it multiple times. Like, I would start out with the car and then would morph to a motorcycle, and like the front end of the car is a motorcycle, and I'm pulling the back end behind me with someone in the back seat. I don't know who the person in the back seat was. I don't, subconsciously put stuff together. But in the dream, multiple times a night or multiple times a week, I would go to this specific restaurant, and the Moyer clan is there. My Moyer family is all there, and this is family that I don't talk to, that I don't, and it's not on purpose. That's just who I am. I'm kind of a out of sight, out of mind kind of guy. It's not that I don't think about you. It's not that I don't love you. It's just like it's right in front of my face, so it's easier to communicate with the family I have that's close. But anyways, in this dream, like my dad was there and his brothers was there, my cousins were there, and I hadn't seen my dad in a year or more. And not that I don't love him. I do love him. But like I said, it's an out of sight, out of mind thing. And some people don't understand that. And I don't mean it to be like I'm not trying to come off as being super selfish. It's just the way, like these are just the ways I can describe, the best way I can describe how I feel and what I'm going through is to say out of sight, out of mind. And I was like with my daughter, keeping up with the regular calling schedule that my ex wanted me to keep when I was working was hard, and my mind would get sidetracked, and before I knew it, it's been an hour past the time I'm supposed to call. And so, like I said, I know it sounds real selfish, and I don't mean for it to sound that way, but it's the best way I can describe it. So in this dream, I keep seeing my family, and what's funny is I started seeing wrestling family there, and wrestling in a locker room, it's a close-knit family. But let me be clear, that is a family that will stab you in the back first chance they get. And that's coming from personal experience. There are some people that I hold close to me like brothers, and there are some people that think I hold them close to me like brothers, but I also want to keep my distance. So it really just kind of got me thinking when I woke up that, like, I need to reach out to these people, and I need to get more involved in their lives, because I know they love me, and I know they want me to be, they want to be involved in my life. But it's just, I distance myself, and I don't know why. Like I said, I get them self-destructive thoughts, and I just want to push everything away, and I want to figure me out. But in the process, I'm not just pushing everybody away, I'm hurting them, and that's not my intentions. And this may not make sense, but it makes sense to me to say it this way. But that's just me breaking off another piece of me for the internet. This is therapy for me. A way for me to get things off my chest and to know I got them off my chest. I used to write things down, and I used to say, oh man, you could write a book with your life experiences, and I probably could write a book with my life experiences, but I don't got them kind of smarts, and I don't words good. So this is the best way for me to, this is therapy. I mean, I've been in and out of therapy my entire life. This is therapy for me. This is what I need. I need to get things out. I was talking earlier in some vlogs earlier that were on a different channel before I decided to stop working on two channels at the same time. What are you doing, Cody? So I need to get the bad out to let the good in. And talking about my self-destructive thoughts and the way I cut everybody out and apologizing and letting everyone know that it's not a personal matter. It's just me having to figure things out for myself is a way of me getting the bad out, to getting things off my chest, and hopefully I can let more good in. Anyways, world, here's another piece of myself. Here you go, internet. Do with it as you please.